Welcome to the program. I'm Okpeyemi Owosheni. We begin with business news. In a landmark move for regional energy integration, Dangote Refinery and Neptune Oil jointly announced the first ever export of premium motor spirit from Dangote Refinery, Africa's largest oil refinery, to Cameroon. The 650,000 barrels per day refinery disclosed this in a statement. Dangote Refinery said that the feat is the result of a strategic collaboration between the two companies, underscoring their commitment to strengthen economic ties between Nigeria and Cameroon while meeting the region's growing energy demand. Reacting to this, the president and CEO of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, noted that the export of PMS to Cameroon is a tangible demonstration of the group's vision for a united and energy-independent Africa. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform, Taiwo Oyedele, has called for enhanced tax compliance and broadening of the nation's tax base as key pathways to achieving faster economic growth in 2025. Oyedele made the call at the 2024 Annual National Tax Conference in Abuja. TV3's correspondent Emeka Amako files in this report.
The Annual National Tax Conference is a yearly event which brings together tax experts, government institutions, and members of the public to discuss emerging developments in the tax and fiscal landscape of Nigeria and their implication for national development. The 2024 edition, organized by Tax Justice and Governance Platform, Nigeria with support from its partners, comes at a time when the proposed tax reform bills by President Bola Tinubu is generating heated controversy across the country. Amid the public debate that has trailed the tax reform bills, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform says the proposed legislation offers a pathway to accelerate growth and development and has the potential to contribute to shared prosperity.
We have done a lot of work around harmonization of the tax system because it's one of the biggest impediments to our development, where we have officially over 60 taxes and levies that we impose on businesses. Unofficially, no one knows how many, but we know there are over 200 because that's at the point where we stopped. And if you decide to count today, I can guarantee you, before the end of the week, there will be at least one additional one that has been added somewhere. And even as we speak, there will be bills at different stages at the National Assembly. It's 1% here, 0.2% here, and it is completely endless. This is not sustainable, and we cannot continue like that.
Other contributors lauded the conveners of the conference, saying the forum offers a platform for stakeholders and taxpayers to interface and extensively deliberate in a manner that contributes to and complements several dialogues.
Current policies, such as the VAT increases, have hit low-income families the hardest. Our report argues that it's time for a shift in focus. Instead of relying on regressive taxes that worsen inequality, Nigeria should turn its attention to those who can afford to contribute more, the wealthy. Taxing the rich isn't just about raising revenue, it's about redistributing resources more equitably and addressing the root causes of poverty and hunger. With millions of Nigerians living in extreme poverty, it's time for the country to adopt fairer, more progressive tax policies.
As we pay taxes, we expect to receive public goods and services in return, and we should hold all our governments at the federal and the subnational levels accountable for this. Because there's a cumulative effect, negative effect, if we all shirk our responsibilities, both on the side of government and on the side of taxpayers.
On his part, the executive director of the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Awa Rafsanjani, recommended strengthening compliance with income tax obligations.
Nigeria indeed is due for reform of its tax system. This has been a part of our advocacy over the years. The reform bill holds potential to transform Nigeria's fiscal framework by consolidating legal provision, enhancing tax administration, and promoting economic transparency. On this note, one cannot fail to commend the effort of the Presidential Committee in identifying gaps and proposing these bills as requisite for possible reforms.
The 2024 conference also centered on issues of equity in economic reform processes in Nigeria, with a major focus on the proposed fiscal governance reforms as championed by the Presidential Committee Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms.
We'll go on a break now and be back with company news. Welcome back. Seplat Energy PLC has announced that its acquisition of Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited from ExxonMobil will be completed on December 12, 2024, with a final consideration of $800 million. Now, this acquisition follows approval from the Nigerian government and the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom, with Seplat publishing its acquisition prospectus. The acquisition is a significant milestone for Seplat Energy, more than doubling its production to around 120,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Now, this growth presents Seplat with a unique opportunity to expand its profitability and also contribute more significantly to Nigeria's economy. Access Holdings PLC has announced that its banking subsidiary, Access Bank UK Limited, has established its first fully owned subsidiary in Malta. The discourse published on the Nigerian Exchange and signed by the company's secretary, Sunday Ekochi, stated that the new entity will operate as Access Bank Malta Limited. According to the statement, the move is part of Access Holdings' global expansion strategy and has received license and approvals from the European Central Bank and the Malta Financial Services Authority. The approval allows Access Bank Malta Limited to operate as a credit institution, forging the group's aims to facilitate trade between Europe and Africa. We'll go on a break now, but when Money Matters return, we'll be discussing the role of data in driving business decisions and economic forecasts in a changing market. I'll bring you more details after this break. Welcome back. In today's fast-paced and ever-evolving business environment, data has become a driving force behind major decisions. From understanding consumer behavior to predicting market trends, businesses rely heavily on data to shape their strategies and stay competitive. However, the process of transforming raw data into valuable insight is not a simple task. This is where data science comes into play. Data scientists build and maintain the system that collect, process, and organize data, making it accessible and useful for analysis. Without their expertise, much of the valuable data we rely on will remain untapped. As businesses strive to make informed decisions, data science has become crucial in predicting and understanding economic trends. Today, we'll explore the critical role of data science in shaping business decisions and economic trends. How does data science help businesses forecast future trends and make better decisions? To shed more light on these questions, we are joined by Akintunde Agbonde, a seasoned data scientist with extensive experience in the intersection of data, business, and economics. Thank you for joining me on the program, Mr. Agbonde.
Hello, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for joining me once again.
Good.
Now, to begin, could you explain what data science is exactly and how it specifically contributes to business decision making?
Yeah, majorly data science deals with collating data from probably a body or a firm. So we are a body of a professional that after collecting the data, we run into the programming, we do the analysis, and after that, we run into the algorithm as well. Then we collect it as one, then give it out to probably, it might be from the government, but what we do majorly is just to get the data.
Okay, so those are like, I'll say, advanced explanations. So for a layman and in today's business environment, particularly the one we have in Nigeria, how important is data in shaping strategies? And then is it possible you share an example on how companies can rely on data scientists for critical decision making, like marketing?
Yeah, you can use that to predict trends, to know what is going in the market and what is probably going on in the market. So that really do help sometimes as well, to let you know what you can do and what you can invest on and what you can dive into as a business.
Interesting. So how would you say data science supports economic forecasting, and what type of economic trends do data scientists help in predicting, and why are these predicting important for businesses as well as policymakers, because they are also as important as well?
Yeah, that is where data-driven comes in, because it really helps you to know what you need to do, what you need to venture in, how you can, like, let's say, I spoke to a friend about, let me just give this as an example. He said even the government, the president doesn't even know the number of citizens in Nigeria. So data science help you to, do a numbering of people in country to let you know, okay, this is the figure. It's majorly, we really deal with numbers actually. So it's really very crucial to know what kind of data you want to deal with.
Interesting. You just mentioned now that it is crucial to know the kind of data you want to deal with. So what kind of data would you advise business owners to deal with?
Yeah, into this business, one thing is you need to, data science can help you to prioritize your business offerings and, do marketing campaigns as well. We do help the customers as well to, getting more different experiences and more increased sales as well.
Okay, all right. So now, when it comes to forecasting key economic indicators like the GDP, inflation or unemployment rate, which are like the challenges we are battling with in the country at the moment, what role does data science play in gathering and processing the data to ensure accuracy?
To ensure accuracy for the GPR is, let's say, let me make a sample of Netflix now. It helps in doing, there's something we call customer behavior. So that makes us to check if we need to work on some marketing strategy on the website. So we as a data person, we go back to the feedback of the customers and see what they are talking about, what we really need to work on, what we need to advance on, and what we really need to put on the website for people to, come more on board for us.
Now, let's talk about the tools and technologies that are crucial for businesses. Now, as a data scientist, what tools or strategies and technologies do you use to undo large data assets and perform economic forecasting? And then how does these tools like machine learning or AI come into play when predicting economic trends?
Yeah, we have so many software that we use. We have, there is what we call the Tableau, we have the Python, we have the R. All this software, we still believe in we getting more, because this software are still not okay and not really, but it's still something we can still work around, and we still believe more that we're gonna get more software AI that we really need to work with.
Okay, thank you for those detailed insights. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into how data science is applied in real-world scenarios and the challenges that comes with it. The program will continue after this short break. Welcome back. We're still discussing the crucial role of data in driving business decisions and economic forecast in today's changing market. And our guest, data scientist Akitsode Agbonde, has been sharing valuable insight. Mr. Akitsode, thank you once again for taking the time to be here with us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, so just before we went on the break, you were speaking about software that businesses could use to make their businesses thrive better. So, like, can you expatiate more on that and how exactly it applies to businesses?
Yeah, like I spoke of, Python is a programming language used majorly by us, though. So it makes it very easy for us to calculate while working on the spreadsheet. So, like, it helps businesses in sense of to build a dashboard, create report as well for consumers, and this programming language as well is very, very visible to connect. Even if you are not a data person, if we just introduce you to it, you will be able to use it as well to extract data yourself for analysis. And I think I mentioned my SQL as well. That's a very structured query language. That's the meaning of SQL. It's a standard language for database creation and manipulation as well. So it's related to database program.
Also, you mentioned now that a layman can use it.
Yeah.
You mentioned that a layman can use it. So let's assume that a market woman is coming in contact with it. How exactly will somebody like that be able to use it?
No. When I mean a layman, I mean somebody that already knows more about, technology. That's what I mean by layman. If we are to, we can't just go in contact with a market woman and just tell them, like, this is Python software for you to use. No, that's not what I mean, like, by that. But for somebody that's been into technology, they can as well just, because it's something very, very, easy to access and something that you can navigate around your way through around it.
Okay, so now we've spoken about those that are not are adapt to using technology. So for somebody that is new to technology and wants to know more about all of these things that you've mentioned, how exactly do they go about it that it becomes a normal thing for them?
Yeah, you know what I would say about that? They should reach out to us who would teach them how to use that, because data is something very, very serious. You don't need to mess around. It's something that there's more of risk there. There's more of privacy that you need to, that is the GDRP, more of privacy statement. There's so many things that you can't just, tell people to just undo. You can't just undo data to just any person.
Now, Mr. Agbonde, working with large volumes of data comes with its challenges. Now, so far, what will you say are some of the biggest obstacles you faced as an experienced data scientist when collecting data?
That's a very big question, I would say, because finding and assessing a right data is a very, very, very big thing for us. Handling large data is something very crucial as well. Balancing the data security as well is something big for us. So we do experience a lot of things while handling customers' data. Sometimes you get wrong data from your client, and when you try to ask them, sorry, where did you get this from? They tend to, like, you don't need to ask me, or this, just do all you need to do. And doing data cleaning is really, really not something easy like that for us. So it's one of our major challenge that we go through.
So in a case like that, how do you address the challenges?
All we need to do is just to work on it as well. We really don't have anything much to, because your customer will always tell you they're always right, and you're always wrong. So what you need to do is just to do what you need to do to just keep it clean.
Interesting. Keep it clean.
Of course.
Now, with so much data being generated as an experienced person that you are, now how do you ensure that data quality and integrity is maintained?
Yeah, that's validation techniques and, implementing automated checks for consistencies as well. So these are things that you need to do. You need to privatize anything you do, not to, there are some people you will even work with, you can't even, share the data as well with them as well. So we have a tool that we use, which is called the ETL. That is the extract transform loads. That helps you to ensure that your device is safe and reliable as well.
So now you've mentioned that you need to be really careful and private and discreet while keeping data. Now, will you say there are common issues businesses face when relying on data for economic decision making?
Yeah, they do, because they want to know more about their data. Like, there is a company I worked with some times ago, and they feel they're making more of profit in one zone. So then, you know, the CEO is just a man that just wants to make money. But until they have to employ somebody that knows more about technology and let them know, like, we need to get some people more involved for us to trace how the business is thriving. So they involved us and we came in. In this aspect, when we came in, we had to do some analysis and we, you know, dive more into their data, which really let us know they are even at lost at some places in the, I think it was around the north side of Nigeria then. So we had to let this man, and we need to explain to him, like, sir, you are making a loss in this zone that you feel you're making gain. But he doesn't know he's making loss there because he is getting more money than he feels he is expecting. So that was one of it.
So now, looking ahead, how do you see data science evolving in the next 5 to 10 years, especially with the advancement in AI and big data?
We expect more of AI software that we can use. But, you know, for economic forecasting, we still need more of that, and I believe we're going to get more of it. We should expect more from data scientists, not just data scientists as well, data engineers as well. So I believe this is what, because I can see so many people now opening a coding company for children now, which I believe this is really going to be a very good thing in the nearest future.
Well, I look forward to that as well. Data scientist Akitode Agbonde, many thanks for lending your thoughts on the program.
You're welcome.
Well, that's it on this episode of the program. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Okpeyemi Owosheni. See you next time.